The glittering landscape of modern celebrity culture is often a carefully constructed illusion, a digital tapestry where every single thread is pulled with meticulous intent, yet sometimes it takes only a single, seemingly innocent social media post to ignite an absolute firestorm of global speculation. In the hyper-connected era of the 21st century, the lines between an influencer's private reality and their public persona have become entirely blurred, transforming casual observers into amateur detectives who parse through every frame, lyric, and caption in search of hidden narratives. This is a world where a momentary lapse in digital strategy or an accidental synchronization of events can completely derail a reputation, shifting the focus from a person's hard-earned professional achievements to the chaotic realm of tabloid gossip and relationship analysis. For figures who have built their entire empires on absolute transparency, the stakes are undeniably higher, as their fiercely loyal audiences feel a profound sense of ownership over their personal milestones, heartbreaks, and daily choices. When a prominent public figure steps into the digital arena, every action is magnified 1,000 times over, analyzed by complex algorithms and millions of curious minds eager to synthesize a dramatic story out of thin air, proving that in the modern entertainment industry, perception often completely overrides reality. To truly understand how a simple melody can morph into a national headline, one must look closely at the fragile mechanics of online stardom, a landscape we continuously explore on this channel. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve and uncover the deepest truths behind the headlines, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. The power of the internet lies precisely in its ability to amplify the mundane, turning a random Tuesday afternoon update into a monumental event that dominates cultural conversations across multiple platforms for weeks on end. We watch these spectacles unfold in real time, witnessing how a single click of a button can unleash a wave of commentary that even the most sophisticated public relations teams struggle to contain or reframe. This is a striking reminder of the volatile nature of fame today, where the very tools used to build an unprecedented connection with an audience can instantly become the catalyst for widespread confusion and intense scrutiny. The constant demand for fresh content creates a relentless pressure cooker environment, forcing creators to share fragments of their lives without always anticipating how those fragments will be reassembled by a public hungry for drama and conflict. This dynamic creates a fascinating psychological playground where the boundaries of truth are constantly tested, leaving the subjects of the gossip to navigate a sea of wild assumptions and elaborate theories that often bear absolutely no resemblance to the actual facts of their lives. Within this chaotic ecosystem, the power of nostalgia and familiar music acts as a powerful accelerator, capable of evoking deep emotional responses and triggering massive waves of engagement from fans who are always looking for deeper, subtextual meanings in every creative choice. When an iconic song from the past suddenly re-emerges in a contemporary context, it carries with it a heavy weight of cultural memory, instantly shifting the tone of whatever visual material it happens to accompany, regardless of the creator's original intent. This interplay between sound, imagery, and timing forms the perfect breeding ground for modern media myths, illustrative of a broader cultural phenomenon where audiences are no longer just passive consumers of entertainment, but active, aggressive participants in the continuous rewriting of celebrity narratives. As we prepare to dive deeper into the specific sequence of events that shook the entertainment world this week, it becomes absolutely essential to establish the atmospheric tension that defines the lives of these modern cultural icons, whose every smile, outfit, and musical preference is judged by a jury of millions sitting behind glowing screens. The narrative that unfolded on a seemingly quiet Monday was not built overnight, but was rather the culmination of months of subtle shifts, public appearances, and the inevitable friction that arises when high-profile relationships begin to show their natural vulnerabilities beneath the harsh glare of constant media attention. Every digital footprint leaves a permanent mark, a breadcrumb trail that eager followers will follow to the ends of the earth, often constructing elaborate labyrinthine theories that connect individuals who inhabit entirely different corners of the musical universe, weaving together destinies based on nothing more than a shared digital moment. The sheer speed at which these rumors mature from idle chatter into perceived absolute certainties is a testament to the hyper-accelerated nature of contemporary communication, where traditional journalistic verification is frequently bypassed in favor of immediate, sensationalized viral engagement. This environment demands that we slow down, analyze the atmosphere, and carefully trace the origins of the spark before the entire forest is consumed by the flames of unchecked speculation, setting the stage for an extraordinary exploration of fame, misunderstanding, and the heavy price of living a life completely uncovered before the world. The delicate spark that ultimately ignited this massive media wildfire occurred on a seemingly ordinary Monday, a day that would instantly become etched in the minds of pop culture followers as a masterclass in chaotic digital timing. It all began when Bunnie Xo, the highly successful podcaster and internet personality whose real name is Elisa DeFord, decided to share a fleeting moment of her day on TikTok. Completely unaware of the explosive geopolitical landscape of celebrity gossip she was about to trigger. In the video, the 46-year-old influencer was captured passionately singing along to one of the most recognizable rock anthems of the early 2000s, Nickelback's iconic 2001 bitter breakup hit, How You Remind Me. To the untrained eye, it appeared to be nothing more than a casual appreciation for a classic track, but the internet rarely accepts anything at face value, especially when the lyrical content of the song deals so heavily with the painful realities of a dying relationship and past mistakes. Compounding the growing curiosity of her millions of followers was a simultaneous post on her social media channels, featuring a deeply striking high-fashion photograph of Bunnie wearing luxurious pink satin lingerie. The image itself radiated immense confidence and personal empowerment, but it was the specific text she chose to overlay on the photo that truly set the rumor mill into overdrive, boldly declaring to the world that she was finally getting her sparkle back. For a public trained to read between the digital lines, this combination of a legendary heartbreak anthem and a highly stylized revealing photograph felt like a calculated declaration of independence, signaling a massive shift in her personal life. The tension escalated to an absolute fever pitch just hours later, when official news broke across major entertainment outlets that her husband, the beloved and massively successful country rock artist Jelly Roll, had quietly filed for divorce, effectively ending their highly publicized marriage. The timing was so incredibly precise that it felt almost synchronized, leading fans to immediately connect the dots in the most dramatic fashion possible, assuming that the TikTok video was a direct, pointed message aimed at her newly estranged husband. As the public tried to process the shocking realization that Jelly Roll had officially pulled the plug on the marriage back on May 18th in Williamson County, Tennessee, citing irreconcilable differences, amateur internet sleuths began digging furiously into Bunnie's recent digital history. What they uncovered sent shockwaves through the community, as fans unearthed a highly provocative Instagram video from late May that featured Bunnie sharing a warm, incredibly close embrace with none other than Chad Kroeger, the 51-year-old charismatic frontman of Nickelback. In that previous post, Bunnie had written an evocative caption stating it was the moment she finally got to be back in his arms, adding the single, heavy word, swoon, in the main description of the upload. Suddenly, the chaotic puzzle pieces seemed to fit perfectly together in the minds of overzealous fans, who wildly theorized that Bunnie had not only checked out of her marriage weeks before the filing, but had actively found solace in a new romance in the arms of the Canadian rock legend. The internet became a battleground of intense speculation, with thousands of comments debating whether this was a long-brewing secret romance or an incredibly bold public debut of a new celebrity power couple, completely ignoring the complex emotional reality of a real-world marriage dissolving behind the scenes. Every single frame of that embrace was analyzed for micro-expressions of genuine affection, and the fact that Chad Kroeger himself was no stranger to high-profile musical marriages. Having been previously wed to global pop-punk icon Avril Lavigne from 2013 to 2015, only added heavy fuel to the creative narratives being spun across social media. The narrative grew so large so incredibly fast that it completely overshadowed the profound sadness of the divorce itself, transforming a deeply painful personal transition into a fast-paced, high-stakes romantic mystery. Tension mounted as fans took sides. Some criticized the podcaster for seemingly moving on so publicly and so quickly with a legendary rock star, while others fiercely defended her right to find happiness and reclaim her personal identity during an incredibly challenging period of emotional upheaval. The entire situation perfectly illustrated the terrifying velocity of modern internet gossip, where a series of entirely unrelated creative choices, separate videos, and a simple appreciation for a trending rock song can be woven into an elaborate, completely fabricated tapestry of infidelity and betrayal. As the noise grew deafening and the headlines began to dominate the mainstream media cycle, the pressure on Bunnie Xo to break her silence and address the mounting allegations reached a critical mass, setting the stage for an explosive and deeply necessary clarification on her own terms. The public waited with bated breath, dissecting her past podcast episodes and social media archives, looking for any historical hint that could validate this sudden, unexpected connection between the worlds of outlaw country and early aughts post-grunge rock, creating an atmosphere of unparalleled digital suspense that demanded an immediate response before the fabricated narrative became accepted as absolute truth. Faced with an absolute avalanche of wild assumptions and rapidly spreading untruths, Bunnie Xo decided to do what she does best, taking direct control of the narrative by addressing the global audience head-on during a highly anticipated episode of her immensely popular Dumb Blonde podcast. With her signature unfiltered honesty and a sense of absolute exasperation regarding the creative lengths of internet rumors, she dismantled the elaborate romantic conspiracy piece by piece, setting the record straight about her relationship with Chad Kroeger. She explained with complete transparency that her decision to post that specific Nickelback track had absolutely nothing to do with her impending divorce or any hidden message directed at Jelly Roll, but was rather the result of a completely innocent, joyful coincidence. The podcaster revealed that she had simply noticed the classic anthem was experiencing a massive viral resurgence, trending heavily across TikTok, and as a lifelong, passionate admirer of the band, she eagerly jumped on the digital wave to celebrate one of her favorite musical groups. In her characteristically candid manner, Bunnie admitted that she was just feeling incredibly good about herself in that exact moment, which is precisely why she felt inspired to share the glamorous pink lingerie photograph, completely oblivious to the fact that the tragic news of her official divorce filing was scheduled to drop into the public domain just a few hours later. When the legal documents became public and the media storm hit, she looked at her own social media page and realized with a sense of utter disbelief that she had accidentally created the perfect visual storm, leaving a trail of digital breadcrumbs that looked remarkably suspicious but were entirely devoid of any malicious or romantic intent. She took the time to express her profound, unwavering respect for Chad Kroeger and the entire membership of Nickelback, describing them emphatically as some of the absolute sweetest and most genuine human beings she has ever encountered in her lengthy career within the entertainment industry. Bunnie deeply emphasized that the rock frontman is a close, valued friend of her family who has even shared the prestigious concert stage with her brilliant estranged husband Jelly Roll in past collaborative musical performances, making the very idea of a disrespectful secret affair completely preposterous and deeply hurtful to everyone involved in the situation. She acknowledged with great empathy that she fully understands how casual observers could try to connect the various digital pieces, but she sharply reminded her audience that they were attempting to build a complex puzzle while completely missing the actual real-world context that binds these individuals together. To permanently seal the coffin on the frantic speculation, she delivered a humorous, definitive final verdict on the matter, joking that there was absolutely no way in hell she was romantically involved with the man she affectionately labeled Daddy Chatty, effectively shutting down the rumor mill with a single, sharp burst of authentic laughter. This dramatic episode highlights a far deeper truth about the nature of modern celebrity journeys, illustrating how the heavy weight of public scrutiny can distort the most innocent human interactions into scandalous narratives designed for rapid internet consumption. For Bunnie Xo and Jelly Roll, whose inspiring journey from the margins of society to the absolute pinnacle of cultural stardom has been defined by a deep mutual vulnerability shared openly with their fans, this painful transition represents a deeply challenging chapter that they must navigate under a literal microscope. Their marriage, which began with a spontaneous and deeply romantic Las Vegas wedding chapel ceremony back in 2016, has always been celebrated for its raw authenticity, as they continuously supported each other through intense personal struggles, legal battles, and the dizzying heights of sudden global musical fame. The realization that they are now walking separate paths after nearly a decade of shared life has brought a profound sense of sadness to their global community of followers who have viewed their love story as a powerful testament to redemption, resilience, and unconditional mutual support. Meanwhile, the legendary Chad Kroeger remains focused on his own enduring musical legacy, having navigated his own share of intense tabloid interest during his high-profile marriage to Avril Lavigne, proving that icons of his stature are often destined to become unwilling characters in the digital dramas of the internet era. As the dust slowly begins to settle on this extraordinary week of viral confusion and emotional revelations, the overarching story serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the immense fragility of truth in a hyper-connected society that prioritizes immediate sensation over deep, deliberate understanding. It reminds us that behind the glossy, high-definition photographs, the trending TikTok audios, and the polished podcast episodes, there are real human beings experiencing genuine heartbreak, dealing with complex legal realities, and trying to heal from the fractures of a broken relationship away from the blinding glare of the public eye. By stepping forward so bravely to clear the air, Bunnie Xo has not only protected the integrity of her professional friendships but has also firmly reclaimed her own powerful voice, proving that true sparkle is never something that can be stolen by internet rumors, nor is it something that depends on a relationship status, but is rather an inner resilience that shines brightest when facing the storm.